Hi guys, and welcome back. In this video I'm going to be showing you what to do when you have an equation that has variables on both sides put over a fraction vinculum and a single divisor. Okay, the reason that this is a unique situation is because the divisor, the fraction vinculum with the single divisor, that acts as a grouping symbol. So basically what we have here is we have two sets of implied brackets. So we're not able to get into the variable terms until we can eliminate these divisors. So there is a few different ways that you can do this, but in this video I'm just going to focus on the one that I believe to be the easiest, okay? So this is going to go in the last section of your foldable. Example 6, this is the final example we'll be putting in there, so this is actually going to finish off your foldable, this example here. So the best way to get rid of this divisor, because we have divisors, a single divisor on each side of the equal sign, what we're going to do is we're going to use the lowest common multiple of the two divisors. So the lowest common multiple of 2 and 4 would be 4. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to add our brackets around the top of each of these fractions, and we're going to place that lowest common multiple as a numerical coefficient outside the bracket. So I'm going to put 4 here, 4 here. So I'm multiplying each of these by 4. So now before I apply my distributive property, what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide the numerical coefficient that I just added by the divisor in order to cancel it out. So 4 divided by 4 leaves me with just 1, which is an invisible one, so I don't even really need to include that. And then 4 divided by 2 leaves me with 2. So I will still include that numerical coefficient there. But as you can see, by adding a numerical coefficient to the top, I was able to cancel out the divisors. So now, here's what I end up with. So this 4 and 4 divided out to 1, so invisible 1, all I have left here is 3f plus 1. And over here, 4 divided by 2 left me with a numerical coefficient of 2 still, so I have to keep those brackets. Can't get rid of the brackets until that's actually gotten rid of. So now from there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply my distributive property for any numerical coefficients that I still have left. So here, because it was a 1, I don't have to worry about it. But on the other side, I do. So 2 times 3 gives me 6. 2 times positive 2f, still a positive, gives me 4f. So now from there, I can move my two variable terms to the same side. So I'm going to take the smaller one away from the bigger one. So that leaves me with just 1f here. So I've got 6 plus f on the right side, and I'm left with just 1, positive 1 on the left side. Okay. Next step, get rid of my constant. So opposite of positive 6 would be subtract 6. 6 minus 6 is 0, so that's gone. But then of course I have to also subtract 6 from the other side. 1 minus 6, that would be the same thing as 1 plus a negative 6, so negative wins by 5. And on the right side of my equation, all that's left is f. So that's it. I'm done. So here's the steps we took. So number 1, first thing we did is find the lowest common multiple of the two divisors. Okay, so the lowest common multiple that these two had was 4. Okay, they can both be multiplied to get to 4, which means that that number is going to be evenly divisible by both of those divisors. So then step 2, add brackets to the numerators. And use the lowest common multiple that you just found in step 1 as a numerical coefficient outside your brackets. Right, so after I found 4 as my lowest common multiple, I added it outside of brackets on the top of each of these fractions. Okay, so then step 3, divide that numerical coefficient by each divisor before applying distributive property. Right, so I did 4 divided by 4 and was left with just a numerical coefficient of 1. So I could have distributed that, but I mean 1 times 3f would still be 3f, 1 times positive 1 would still be 1. Anything times 1 stays the same. So if you end up with a numerical coefficient of 1, you can just simply drop it, drop your brackets, you're done. Okay, here, remember I divided my 4 by 2 and I was still left with 2, so then I had to apply the distributive property. And then finally, step 4, we're just going to say solve as usual, because that's what we've been practicing throughout this entire section, is moving the variable term to the same side with addition or subtraction, subtracting to see what's left, then proceed with the usual 2 steps of two-step equation. Cancel the constant, cancel the numerical coefficient if necessary. Here it wasn't. We ended up being left with just 1f. So that's it. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.